Welcome back to the Narcissism Freedom channel. Whether you're returning to continue your healing journey or you're here for the first time, thank you for showing up for yourself. This space was created for those who have endured invisible battles, questioned their reality, and are now ready to reclaim their voice, their power, and their peace. On this channel, we don't give surface-level advice. We go deep. We speak truth. We hold space for healing that doesn't always follow the traditional script. And today, we're going to talk about one of the most misunderstood and misused concepts in recovery: forgiveness. What if true healing doesn't require forgiveness? For years, you've been told to forgive and forget. You've been told your peace depends on releasing resentment and letting go of hurt. You've heard that forgiveness is more for you than for them. But what if that belief is incomplete? What if there's a liberating path to reclaiming your peace and emotional sovereignty without ever offering forgiveness to the person who hurt you? This message may challenge what you've been taught and open a door to healing on your own terms. Do you find yourself stuck, replaying past hurts, feeling like you can't move forward because you can't bring yourself to forgive? You're not alone. Many people carry this inner conflict. They want to heal but feel trapped because the thought of forgiving someone who caused deep harm feels impossible. But what if that belief, that you must forgive, is actually what's holding you back? What if healing doesn't require forgiving the one who wounded you, but instead requires validating your experience and choosing yourself? Forgiveness has been spiritualized, romanticized, and sometimes weaponized. It has been used to silence the abused, rush the grieving, and guilt people into premature peace. Forgiveness, in its purest form, can be powerful. But when it's used as a shortcut, it becomes another burden. Healing is not the same as forgiveness. And you have the right to heal without offering absolution to someone who refuses accountability. Some people are unrepentant. They continue to harm, gaslight, minimize, and deny. And they don't deserve a place in your healing story. Yet society often tells survivors they can't fully heal until they forgive. That message isn't just false, it's harmful. It places the burden on the victim rather than the person responsible. It teaches people to bypass the very emotions they need to face to become whole. You are allowed to heal without forgiving. You can reclaim your joy without reconciling. You can move forward without releasing someone from responsibility. Forgiveness is not the only path to peace. Sometimes the most healing thing you can do is tell the truth. Stop pretending you're over it. Stop performing forgiveness to seem evolved. Start honoring your journey. Healing without forgiveness begins with truth. What happened to you mattered. It hurt. It left marks. And your response, whether anger, grief, or numbness, is valid. Too often, people rush to forgive because they think it's required. But healing demands honesty. It demands facing the pain, acknowledging betrayal, and refusing to sanitize your story. You don't have to forgive to let go. You can release the pain's grip without offering the person who caused it a place in your peace. This is what reclaiming your power means. It's removing them from the center of your healing. It's saying, I no longer give you power over my future. That's where freedom begins. Think about how many people feel broken not because of the trauma, but because they can't do what others say they should. That pressure becomes another layer of pain. But forgiveness is not a prerequisite for healing. What is required is honesty, boundaries, grief, and self-compassion. Boundaries are sacred. They declare, I may not control the past, but I can protect my present. You don't need to forgive someone to set boundaries. You don't need to reconcile. You only need to value your peace. Saying no isn't cruel, it's clarity. And grief? It's essential. So many are told to skip grief and forgive quickly. But ungrieved pain doesn't disappear. It buries itself. Grief lets you mourn what was lost. You can grieve someone still alive. You can mourn what should have been. You can do all that without forgiving. Grief is not weakness. It's necessary. Be kind to yourself in this process. You don't owe anyone a timeline or an explanation. You don't need to feel guilty for not being ready or ever willing to forgive. Your journey is your own. Your healing is sacred. And your progress is real, even if others don't understand it. Let's talk about spiritual reclamation. Forgiveness is often seen as the highest virtue, but sometimes the most spiritual act is reclaiming your energy, restoring your boundaries, and choosing your truth. It's saying, I no longer carry what you refuse to own. That's not bitterness. That's power. You don't need shame for doing what serves your healing. Whether you forgive or not, your growth is valid. Some people will never deserve your forgiveness. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you real. It means you refuse to pretend deep wounds don't require deep healing. Reclaiming your power isn't about moving on, it's about moving through. Through the anger, through the grief, through the lies, and arriving on the other side, not because you forgave, but because you chose yourself. That's power no one can take from you. Imagine standing in your truth, no longer apologizing, no longer explaining, no longer defending why you haven't forgiven. Saying instead, I may not have closure, but I have clarity. I may not have peace with them, but I have peace within. That's enough. You're not broken. You're not less spiritual. You're human, healing from real pain. That process is valid. The world may tell you to rise above, to forgive quickly, to let go. But sometimes, rising means honoring the depth of your pain without rushing through it. So, if you've been carrying the guilt of not forgiving, let it go. Your healing is not defined by someone else's comfort. It's defined by your willingness to show up for yourself, to tell your story, to protect your energy, to define your healing in your own way. There is strength in choosing your own path. There is courage in not conforming to what healing is supposed to look like. Some journeys are messy, quiet, and fiercely individual. Yours might not be understood by others, and that's okay. It's not their healing, it's yours. And no one gets to determine how or when your heart finds peace. If you ever do forgive, let it come naturally, not from pressure. And if you never do, you are still whole. You are still healing. And you are still enough. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing truth, even when it's hard. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Narcissism Freedom channel for more content that supports your emotional healing and empowerment. And if you feel led to support the growth and awareness of this channel, the details are in the description below. Your support helps us reach more survivors, break more cycles, and create more safe spaces for honest healing. Your story matters. Your voice matters. And you are not alone.